where your kind of coordination with your foot and your hips are. We're going to be on our stomachs. So the first thing we're going to do, we're not going to look the first time, we're going to look once we're in position. So you're not going to check anything to start with. You're going to bring your knees and your feet together behind you. You're going to place your hands on the floor in front of you with your palms facing down towards the floor. And you're going to put your forehead on your hands, just nice and comfortable. Then all we're going to do is we're going to lift our feet, our knees up, our feet up off the floor. And we're aiming to have them perpendicular to the floor. And then we're going to flex our feet. And we want to have our feet, so the soles of our feet, don't look, the soles of our feet are pointing towards the ceiling directly. So we don't want to have them off at all. So now, so you want your knees together, feet together, ankles together, big toe together if possible, heel together. And you're aiming for the soles of your feet to be pointing straight towards the ceiling. Knees are bent. Good. Now look back and see what's going on. See if your toes are lower than your heels. So have a wee sneaky back. Got you all pretty good. Fiona, your toes are a little bit lower from what I can see. I can't see everybody totally clearly. So you're aiming for them to be totally together and totally flat and looking up towards the ceiling. The first time I did this, we were so out. Now what we're going to do is just warm them up a bit. So we're going to try and keep our big toe, the side of our big toe, and our heel together and our knees together. And we're going to point them up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to pull them down the way. Point them up and pull them down. Point them up, keeping them together the whole time, keeping your knees together too. Now as you're doing this, I'd like you to feel where you feel it in your body. Do you feel that you're feeling it in your lower back? Are you feeling it in your pelvis? We should have done a rest reset. We'll do it afterwards. This. So pressing it up and pressing down and pressing up. Now bring them back to flat so that they're facing directly towards the ceiling again. Good. Now keeping your toes together, you're going to move your heels apart and bring them together. Again, keeping them even while you're doing this. Good. So this is the connection between your feet and your hips and the movement of your hips and your feet and how they affect each other. So where are you feeling it most? So just make a mental note to yourself. Then heels stay together and toes move apart from each other. See what happens. So for me, what happens immediately when I do that is my toes want to come down the way more than my heels. So we're still trying to keep our heels and our feet pointing up towards the ceiling. That says a lot about me, and I also feel it much more on my lower back, but you may be different because you may have different holding patterns, which you will. Okay, and then bring it back to the start, and then point them up again and pulling them back down and up and back down, and then soles of feet pointing towards the ceiling. Okay, and then release them back down. Now before we do anything else, which is what we should have done right at the beginning, we're going to line our backs. We're going to have our hands out towards our sides, and we're just going to see how our body feels this morning. So, and where we've arrived at this morning. It's good because our next one is here, so that's good. So we want to feel, you want to just relax, and you just don't want to change anything. You just want to feel where your body is. So you want to feel how your neck feels. Maybe move your neck from side to side a little, just so you can feel whether it feels tight anywhere. Feel where your shoulders are in relation to the floor, your rib cage, your pelvis. So is your rib cage slightly off the floor? Is your lower back on the floor? Is your pelvis tilting towards towards the floor? Is it tilting away from the floor? Where are your thighs? Are they on the floor or off the floor? Where are your knees? Are your knees pointing out towards the side? Are they pointing straight up? Are they pointing in the way? Where are your calves, ankles, and feet? And just take a mental note of this just now. Excellent. So our next exercise that we're going to do is to warm up this whole, or to create much more space in your torso area, but it's also to create more length in the joints. So we're going to have our legs so they're slightly wider than hip distance apart. We're going to have our arms so that wherever is good for you to be in like a cross formation. So you want to be able to easily reach them onto the floor. So that's a little bit more towards the T for you, that's fine. If it's more up towards a high V for you, then that is also fine. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the middle of our body is as relaxed as we can possibly get it. So we want our no tension. This releases all the tension in our torso and everything as well, or it should do. So you want as little tension as possible in the centre. So give your body a little bit of a jiggle about, make sure it's nice, feeling nice and relaxed. Now we're going to reach with our left arm away from our body, like a marionette, like a doll. You know, like one of these puppet dolls being pulled by its string. So you're going to reach, have your left arm pulled away from your centre, keeping your centre as relaxed as you can while you do it. And then bring it back into the centre. Then you're going to reach your left foot away, like it's being pulled like a puppet, away from your centre, and then allow it to come back in. Then you're going to stretch your right arm away, so really stretching that right arm away as if it's being pulled by those strings, by your puppet master, and then back to the centre. Then you're going to stretch your right leg away, and again feeling like it's being pulled, trying to keep your abdominals, your back muscles as released as you can, and then back to the centre. So let's do that again. So we're going to go left hand reaching, and just nice steady breathing while we do this, and left hand back to the centre. Left leg reaching as if it's being drawn away by your puppet master, and then back to the centre. Then right hand, so moving, really feeling that leg. Remember, keep thinking back to relaxing your abdominals, and back to the centre. And then right leg being pulled away as well, and then back to the centre. We're going to go around one more time. So left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg, and now we're going to go right arm, left leg. So stretching through or lengthening through the centre, trying to keep the centre as relaxed as possible. We're trying to hit the thoracolumbar fascia at the back of our body as well. And then release. And then left hand, right leg, reaching, reaching, reaching away, and then back into the centre. And now all four at once, really feeling them reaching away from the centre, trying to keep the centre as relaxed as you can. And then back. Okay, now we're going to bend our knees. And we're going to bring them up in front of us. We're going to hold our knees, so just below our knees or just on our knees with our hands. Now for this one to start with, we want to find our neutral pelvis. We want to feel our back. So we're going to rock our pelvis backwards and forwards. So we're going to pull the lower back into the floor and then press away. Lower back into the floor, press away. And you're just slowly going to rock until you can find your neutral. We're going to try and hold this neutral position for this whole exercise. So now we're going to breathe. As we breathe, I'd like you to feel the back of your body, back of your ribcage expanding into the floor. So that's the first one. So breathing and expanding the back into the floor. And then exhaling. Now as you breathe, just keep breathing, expanding the back into the floor. And as you inhale, I'd like you to feel the back of your pelvis also expanding into the floor as you inhale. So nice big wide inhale. Now I'd like you to feel that breath as you inhale. Feel the back of your ribcage, the back of your pelvis, and your front by your pubic symphysis. So I'd like you to feel the front of your lower abs expanding too. And then exhaling. Keeping that pelvis neutral, the head and ribs neutral. Again, nice big slow breath. Now, as you do your breathing, we're going to start rocking from side to side. So we're going to pull the left leg with the left hand over to one side to just before our tipping point. And then we're going to pull our right leg over with our right arm just before our tipping point. So just nice regular inhales and exhales while you're doing this, just from side to side, just to your tipping point. Using a light action. We wouldn't need very much to start pulling us towards the side, side to side. I'm going to take this a little bit further. So we're going to pull our left leg or our right leg, whichever one you want, down towards, keep coming towards the floor, and gently, slowly roll towards the floor. and then rest there for a minute on your side. Allowing your head just to roll over to the side as well. Keeping the back of your head on the floor now, you're going to pull whichever leg is on top, you're going to pull that over towards the center and just allow yourself to slowly roll the other way. Allowing your head to follow. And just rest on your side for a moment. And then rolling back over the other way, just lightly drawing your leg over, allowing your body to come with you. So this exercise is called rolling like a barrel. You can see why. And then bringing it back over. And it should take the lightest touch. Just allow your head and neck to be super relaxed as you do this. All the way over. Now that you know what you're doing, bring your breathing back much more. So nice big inhale as we go over. And exhale. Nice big inhale again, feeling the breath in your back of your body. And relax, keep your head relaxed. One more, inhaling. Perfect. Now bring yourself back to the center. Make sure you can find your neutral pelvis again. Good. And then take a nice big long breath again, focusing on the back of the rib cage, the back of your pelvis and into your pubic bone. And release. Right, bringing our legs back down towards the floor. Now we've warmed all that up a little bit more. You're going to need to have a little bit of space so you can roll onto your front and roll onto your front the other way. So make sure you're not too close to one side of your space. We're going to take our hands back out into that human cross. Excellent. Then from here, we're going to start reaching, first of all, with our right arm. And we're going to reach our right arm all the way over. So actually, if we've got our hands out in a T, it's better actually for this one. So we're going to reach our right hand all the way up towards the ceiling. And we're going to reach it all the way over until it's reaching towards our left hand. So our legs are still on the floor, as much of our lower body is still on the floor. And we're going to stretch now, our lower body will start to come off the floor. As we stretch our right hand towards our left palm and a little bit beyond. And then we're going to slide it all the way back through again, back to your T. Excellent. We're going to do the same thing again. Remember to keep breathing while you do this. So sliding all the way through. And then back all the way over to your T. This time we're going to come further. So we're going to take our hand all the way up. We're going to slide it through the hand. Then we're going to take our left arm and we're going to move it up towards our left ear. Excellent. Then we're going to keep sliding our right hand further and further and further away, keeping our left leg on the floor, right leg on the floor, keeping our right leg on the floor, and keeping your right leg on the floor for as long as you can until you start to come over. Pause for a minute with your right leg off the floor. Feel that little stretch through your body and then slowly come back down. So now you should be lying prone with your face pointing towards the floor. Now, keeping your legs where they are, we're going to slide our left hand underneath our left ear. And we're going to reach up with our right arm. So reaching up, keeping our legs on the floor. So you always want to keep your legs on the floor for as long as possible, touching with your toes even. Keep reaching back with this hand as you reach. Now there'll be a point where your hand is off the floor and your leg is off the floor. Pause here for a second. Your head is on the floor, hopefully. Pause here for a second, take a nice deep breath. And then slowly allow yourself to come back down. Okay, so doing it the other way. So hands back into your T. This time it's the left hand's going to reach over. So it's reaching up towards the ceiling and then it's reaching over to the right side. Stretching, trying to stretch it past the other hand. And then it's going to come all the way back down towards the floor, back to your T. And again, reaching up. So we're going to do 2 of these before we come all the way over. Reaching beyond your hand and then coming back. So this is to coordinate your entire like shoulder to trunk to foot. Then we're coming all the way up again, stretching over, reaching beyond the hand, keeping our feet on the floor, bringing our right arm underneath our right ear. And then we're going to keep stretching, and there's going to come a point where that leg comes off the floor. Let's take a nice slow breath here, feel that length. And then continue that stretch of the right arm as you free the left arm and the leg comes down to your prone cross. Excellent. Okay, then we're going to take our right hand back up underneath our right ear. We're going to lift our left hand off the floor and we're going to reach it up towards the ceiling and keep following it with your eyes. So it's good if you make sure you follow it with your eyes, watch with your eyes. And then lift it. You've got that point just where the left leg and the left arm are off the floor. Keep following the hand with your eyes so you've got that twist through your body. Take a nice deep breath here. And then continue back down towards the floor. Okay, well done. So from this, do that one more time on both sides. So now you know what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to the right first. Hands are in a T. We're just going to do the complete roll and we're going to speed it up a little bit. So just nice, slowly, steadily, comfortably, and in your own time. So take your right hand over. And just if you want to continue at your own speed, now you can, stretching past that left hand. Left arm comes up underneath your ear. As you continue to reach. Remember, take a point to breathe. And then continue onto your front. Good. Then left hand comes back up underneath. Right hand lifts up. Follow it with your eyes. All the way over. Until you come back. Make sure you have that pause in the middle for your breath. Back to your T. Then go the other way. So same thing. Reaching up first. Reaching over. Reach it. Keep reaching. Trying. The objective is to keep these legs on the floor for as long as possible. Right hand comes up under your ear as you stretch. Take that moment and then come over. And when you come back the way, just take a pause if you need to. The right arm comes underneath. Left arm reaches up. It keeps reaching up. Keep following it with your eyes. There's a delicious point where you can feel everything lengthening. And then down towards the floor. Okay, and then roll onto your side. And come up to a sitting position. I think that's next. Oh no, it's not, we're on the floor. Stay on the floor. Alright, this one is really about coordinating and getting your rotational reflexes to work properly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg and put it over our left knee. And it's like we're actually folding it in, like we're crossing them, so there's no gap between them. Hands are just relaxed in a low V kind of beside you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our legs, so our right leg is on top. We're going to take we're working within your comfort range, so it might look different than mine. We're going to take our right leg and we're going to use our right leg to help pull our left leg towards the right. You're coming as far as you can comfortably manage until you start to feel that it's starting to pull on your back, perhaps. It's not feeling comfortable anymore. And then bring it back to the center. So we're going to inhale over, exhale back, inhaling. And exhaling. Feel where that range is. Let's do it another 2 times. One more. Just notice what you notice. Notice how the left buttock comes off the floor perhaps a little bit more, etc. Now we're going to try going the other way and just feel how that feels in your body. So coming over the other way. What can you feel there? And then what feels easier to you? And back. Try it to the right again just to see how that feels. Back to the center. Then we're going to put both our feet side by side. We're going to take our hands up and we're going to glue them together like they've been super glued together in front of us, like a steeple. Good. Then keeping our arms straight, we're going to rotate them or reach them over towards the left. So they're going towards the left. And you're keeping them glued together, so you're not bending any arms. You're taking it as far as you can physically take it and then bring it back to the start. We're going to do that again. We're inhaling over. And back. Keep your knees pointing towards the ceiling. Make sure you're not cheating, make sure your elbows are straight. One more. Elbows straight, knees straight up towards the ceiling. Now arms come back down by our side. We'll put our right leg over our left leg again. And we're going to go back over to the right again to see how it feels now. And then pulling it back. So hopefully it feels easier to go that way now than it did before. And what that shows is that we've created a better connection between the two. If it feels exactly the same, then there's a good chance that you were already pretty well connected in those two areas. So connecting the hips to the shoulders. So let's go the other way because we're always different on the other side. So let's swap the legs over. So this time the left leg will be on top. So the left leg is going to pull towards the left. Arms are just relaxed to start with. So we're allowing the left leg to pull the right leg towards the floor. And just see how this feels for you. Does this feel easier in your body? And then come back to the start. Inhale over. Exhale back. Inhale over. Exhale back. Now try going to the right. Do it again. See which one feels easier for you. Try back to the left again, just so you've got a gauge. Then putting your feet side by side. Hands up, like steeples. Right, remember, elbows are staying straight, knees are staying pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to go over to the right this time. Does this feel easier this way or more difficult? For me, this one always feels easier than this way. We're going to do 3 of these. One more. Then hands by our side again. Put our left leg over our right leg. And we're going to come down to the left side. And hopefully you have a much easier movement pattern. Now try going to the right. And back to the left. By releasing the upper, by doing the steeple, releasing the upper, we can release the lower kind of rotational response and then bring them back side by side. Okay, the next exercise that we're going to do is to release our neck, and it's quite fun. But I'll explain it to you. We're going to let our legs nice and long. We're going to put our hands, so I'm going to put my right hand on first, so I can demonstrate better, but we're going to do both hands. We're going to put our hand, we're going to imagine our head is a ball. And the ball is not attached to anything. It's not being controlled by your neck at all. Your ball is going to be controlled by your hand. And we're going to imagine the hand is like a bat. So it's like a bat and a ball. And you know how kids get bats and they roll the ball with the bat? We're going to do the same thing with our head. So we can put our hand on our forehead. You're going to really take a nice deep breath in and feel deep relaxation in your neck. So just try and make your neck as floppy and relaxed as possible. And then we're going to use our hand and our arm like a bat to roll our ball from side to side. And we're trying to make sure there's no tension at the sides of our mouths, no tension in our eyes. No, my head is not moving my hand is moving my head. You want to have your neck as relaxed as you possibly can. Again, check in with your face, make sure you haven't tightened anything. And remember, the neck is not initiating the movement, the head is being initiated by the hand. You want a floppy neck. It's not intense people say that to you. Okay. Now take that hand down, and we're going to repeat with the other side. So this time, the opposite hand will be on your forehead. Take a moment to make sure your neck is super relaxed, and then roll it from side to side, like you're rolling a ball. As you do this, what kind of shape is the back of your head? Does it feel like it's got a flat bit? Where are the flat bits in the back of your head? Does it feel completely spherical? Become aware of your head. Good. Remember to relax your face, no tension in your eyes, and then release. Okay, then we're going to rest reset again. So we're going to have a look at how our body feels compared with how it felt at the beginning. So we're going to put our hands just beside us, our legs beside us, and we're going to do another body scan. So let's start with our head. How does your head and neck feel? Your shoulders? Is your ribcage, if it was off the floor, is it closer to the floor? Your lower back, does it feel like your lower back, if it was off the floor, really far off the floor, does it feel more connected? If it was on the floor, does it feel like it's elevated? How does your pelvis feel? The backs of your thighs, your knees, your ankles, your calves. Take a nice deep breath here. And then release. Another one more breath.